What is up everyone, Phil from DC Chronicle here, and it looks like Injustice 3 is back on the menu. What's up everyone, if you're excited for Injustice 3, hit that like and subscribe button, you know what to do. So there's been a lot of rumours, that pop up and then quiet down a little bit about Injustice 3 and the potential of an Injustice 3 coming out. There has been a slight change this time in that NetherRealm has now announced the MK1 Definitive Edition. Now, from what I understand from looking online, looking on the NRS subreddits, that kind of thing, releasing the Definitive Edition usually means that active development on that particular game has stopped. So what we can infer from this is that active development on Mortal Kombat 1 has stopped, I think, except for there's going to be a couple of movie skins coming out. But NRS is now working on the next game, and the next game may very well be Injustice 3. Now, we've had a couple of Mortal Kombat games in a row. People have been wondering what's happened to that cycle of Mortal Kombat, then Injustice, Mortal Kombat, then Injustice. Particularly with Mortal Kombat 1, I don't think the reception is as good as some of the others. There were a few complaints, some praises, but some complaints. I got the game on special offer, so I got like the Ultimate Edition for, I think it's about £35, when usually full price is £90 to £100. Honestly, I still feel a little bit ripped off that I paid that for it. I didn't like the game at all. I actually planned a little series. I was going to do like a Peacemaker Tries Hard in Mortal Kombat series where I'd just play as Peacemaker and sort of edit it to be a little bit like the show, a bit more grown up and like bad language and all that, but I just couldn't get to it. I just really didn't like the game. The cameo system everyone talks about being controversial. I personally didn't like it. I'm sort of hoping it doesn't return in an Injustice, or if it does, it's been changed quite substantially to be a better sort of sidekick system. People also complain about the pacing of the story. I thought the story was pretty decent. I know some people don't like the kind of multiverse thing that's going on. I don't know a huge ton about the kind of lore or the main story of Mortal Kombat, but I know the multiverse sort of played part of it. And then people obviously always complain about the online experience. I didn't really get that far with it, to be honest. I played it for a couple of weeks and then I was just sort of done with it. It wasn't my thing at all. Whereas Injustice 2, I put loads of hours into that game, really love that game, so I'm very excited about the prospect of an Injustice 3, even if it has taken a while for us to get to this point. Now, there has been a lot of kind of insider stuff as well on Twitter that I've seen reported that Injustice 3 might be coming soon. Some people writing about multiverses being stopped and putting Injustice 3 times in the tweet, that kind of thing. A few teasers from Ed Boon and things of that nature. I mean, Ed Boon's tweets, I feel like you can't really read a huge amount into him. He can kind of misdirect sometimes. And then the Twitter insiders, I don't take a lot. Even the credible ones aren't right 100% of the time. In fact, they're wrong quite a lot of the time. So I never really personally put a lot of stock into Twitter scoops and stuff like that. But when you look at it in the whole, holistically, with everything that's going on, it does seem like Injustice 3 is around the corner. And I think it's a good time to do it. I know historically Injustice has been a bit more of a niche game. It doesn't sell as well as Mortal Kombat, I think, because you're trying to sort of bring two fan bases together. Like DC fans aren't really that bothered about fighting game. Fighting game fans aren't really that bothered about DC. Hopefully this time, with DC kind of being on the up, it brings more casual fans. If they're going to put a big focus on Superman and more movie tie-ins, that's something they can really harness now. One thing that I heard at the time was that the reason why NetherRealm went from a Mortal Kombat to a Mortal Kombat and didn't stick to Injustice was, you have to remember at the time there was so much chaos around Warner Brothers and around DC specifically. They just wanted to sort of leave it be and work on Mortal Kombat rather than get involved in Injustice. For a long time there was rumours about WB Games being sold off, and then there was the big power vacuum in Warner Brothers for DC that obviously has ended up being filled by James Gunn and Peter Safran. So I can understand why they would have wanted to focus on Mortal Kombat, which they probably have more control over, and working on an Injustice game when they didn't really know what the landscape was going to be like and what kind of landscape they'd be releasing that game in if it had come out, and I guess kind of 2022, 2023 time. Because you have to think at that time we kind of had Black Adam, Henry Cavill's back, no he's not, we're going to reboot the universe. and then just a lot of chaos behind the scenes. There's been articles about what happened. But yeah, I can understand the nervousness from NRS from releasing an Injustice game at that point in time. Whereas now feels a lot better to release an Injustice game. We've had a couple of Mortal Kombat games, like I said, there might be a bit of fatigue for that series and looking for something a little bit different. Plus, again, with DC being on the up, we've got a brand new universe starting, and there's going to be a lot more potential for movie tie-ins and tie-ins with TV shows, Superman, Supergirl, Lanterns, Peacemaker, all that good stuff we can get in the game. I know in Injustice 2 they had Justice League skins, which I got, but I understand there was like a bit of controversy around that where if you didn't get them at the time, it was really difficult to get them again. And I think if they can really work on the gear system that they had on Injustice 2, I really like that idea, but the execution of it was not great. A lot of the gear pieces seemed kind of random, and people were kind of hodgepodging things together to make something that sort of looked like Batman 89 because he had the logo, or sort of looked like Kingdom Come Superman, or sort of looked like Red Sun Superman because they had the logo. I'd like to see the gear system back, but reworked so it more closely resembles not just movies and TV, but comics as well, particularly with some of the stuff we've got out now, like World's Finest, Justice League Unlimited. Some of the Absolute Universe in the game would be amazing as well. So if they can really work on that, that'd be a great way to get some really cool customizables in the game, some cosmetics, and I'd really love to see how people can be creative with that. For example, a Red Sun Absolute Superman. People could really get creative with it, and that'd be really cool, I think. So yeah, it feels like a good time. Hopefully we'll get Injustice. I know NRS are kind of known for very quick kind of marketing windows, so they could announce it and then a few months later it'll be out. I know they announced Injustice 2 like a full year, but there was the initial trailer and then there was nothing until a few months afterwards, so maybe they won't do that this time. We'll just get the shorter few month sort of marketing cycle, and then the game could be out even later this year, start next year. Who knows really, but I do think it's looking like Injustice 3 is around the corner. I'm really excited for it. We'll definitely be covering it on the channel. What I'll probably end up doing is maybe going back to Twitch. I used to love streaming DC Dual Force back in the day, so maybe we can go back to Twitch and stream Injustice. I will probably set up a second channel just for gameplay. We'll still cover news and all that kind of stuff on this channel, but purely gameplay. I might do like a DC Chronicle Gaming type thing and just upload gameplay to there. So it's been rough for Warner Brothers in games lately. They put out cards saying how much they've lost. There's really nothing on the horizon for DC now that Wonder Woman has been cancelled. Hopefully it's been a bit of a wake-up call for them, and they know what they're good at. They know what sells. Stop kind of trend chase and just stick to the basics and do them well. And hopefully they've learned that lesson now. An expensive lesson to learn, but hopefully they've learned it, and we're moving towards a much better future for DC gaming, and hopefully Injustice 3 is the start of that. So if you're excited for Injustice 3, anything in particular you want to see, let me know in the comments down below, and like and subscribe, really appreciate it, and I will catch you all in the next one.